pulls you away from God. And sometimes the devil will just use right out blatant sin. You look in the Bible, David was doing great. David was king of Israel. He was ruling and reigning. He was prospering. And all of a sudden, one night, a blatant sin with Bathsheba ruined the rest of his life. Just one blatant sin. And sometimes it's just a gradual drift away from God. You know, Lot in the Bible, it said that he just looked at Sodom. Then he began to pitch his tent towards Sodom. Then it said he dwelled in Sodom. It was just a slow pull, just a slow, gradual drift away from the things of God, and it slowly pulled Lot in. And sometimes it's just as simple as replacing godly things with good things. Ephesus in the Bible was theologically correct, but they had left their first love. They had lost their zeal, they had lost their passion, they had lost their worship of God, and it had turned their hearts cold. And for you and for me, what destroys our walk easily, or sometimes you might just fall for blatant sin, or sometimes you might gradually drift away, or sometimes you might just replace the true worship of God with good things in your life. But no matter how or who you are, God will not let you sin successfully. Pastor told me that many years ago, and it's so true. If you're a child of God, He will not let you sin successfully. You will not get away with it. God will not allow His children to drift completely away from Him. He will confront you. He will come after you. He will call your name. He loves you too much and has paid too high of a price for your salvation to allow sin to destroy your life. And right here we see a clear example of that. We see how a person had gotten away from God and walked away from God, but now we see how God can restore that walk with God again. And I don't know where you are, but maybe this morning you realize you need to go back to Bethel. Maybe you realize there's a place in your life, a time when you were closer to God than you are right now. Maybe as you look over 2020, you look over the last 5 years, the last 10 years, you realize you've slowly walked away from God. Or maybe some blatant sin has come into your life and it's wiped you out. And you need to look back to God and say, I need to go back to Bethel this morning.